Every single time you tell someone about your goals, your brain physically destroys your ability to achieve them. You thought you were just sharing your ambitions. In reality, you were taking a hit of cheap dopamine that just killed your motivation. And the worst part? The people you told are secretly hoping you fail. Remember that feeling? You talked about your plans, and a warmth spread through you. You felt like a winner before you even took the first step. You wanted to show them the scale of your ambitions. You wanted them to see what you're capable of. But here is what separates the truly powerful from weak-willed dreamers. The weak announce. The powerful execute in silence. And between these two approaches lies a chasm that most people will never understand. Niccolò Machiavelli realized this over 500 years ago. He watched as loudmouths lost empires. He studied how a single careless word could destroy the greatest strategies. He documented exactly how real power works in a world that absolutely does not care about your dreams. And today, I am going to hand you that knowledge. This is not about being paranoid. This is about becoming untouchable. By the end of this monologue, you will look at your ambitions differently. You will stop giving your energy away to a cheap audience. You will become the kind of person whose plans cannot be sabotaged simply because no one knows about them. So sit down, block out all emotion, and listen carefully, because what you are about to learn will change the way you move toward success forever. Before you can master the art of secrecy, you must understand why you open your mouth in the first place. Why are we so desperate, so painfully eager to share our goals? It's not just stupidity. It's a biological trap. When you say, "I'm going to launch this project. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to make $1 million," something catastrophic happens in your head. Your brain cannot tell the difference between doing the work and talking about doing the work. It releases a spike of dopamine, the achievement hormone. You get the chemical reward, the feeling of triumph and superiority for something you haven't even started. You bask in the applause before you even step into the ring. And in that exact moment, your hunger vanishes. Your motivation drops. Why would your body spend months doing hard work, tearing muscles, and enduring pain, if it already got its fix of pleasure from a simple conversation? This is the cheap dopamine trap. And here is what a man caught in it looks like. Let me show you the anatomy of weakness. A weak man comes up with a plan and immediately broadcasts it on every corner. He posts about it on social media. He tells his friends over drinks. His chest puffs out. His voice gets louder. He genuinely believes he is projecting strength. He thinks he is broadcasting confidence. But everyone with even an ounce of power sees the truth. They see an addict. They see a man who lacks so much inner core that he requires approval in advance. He confuses noise with movement. He confuses people nodding with actual progress. And you know what happens next? At the first sign of difficulty, at the first collision with harsh reality, he quits because he has no fuel left. He wasted all his energy on talking. Every time you announce your goal, you are literally spitting your power into the void. You are showing the world how empty you are inside. But that is only half the problem. The second half is much darker. When you reveal your plans, you commit the fatal mistake Machiavelli warned against. you forget human nature. Most people live in an illusion. They believe their friends and colleagues genuinely want them to win. They trust too easily. But reality, stripped of polite smiles, looks different. Human nature is soaked in hidden competition and envy. Every room you enter is a battlefield of invisible hierarchies. People are constantly measuring each other, and when you announce a massive goal, you disrupt the status quo. Your ambitions are an insult to those who gave up. Your potential haunts them because it acts as a mirror, showing them their own cowardice, their laziness, their wasted years. Do you really think they will just let you rise above them? Never. But they won't attack you openly. That's too obvious. They will move subtly. They will plant seeds of doubt under the guise of quote 3. They will say quote 4, quote 5, quote 6. They will try to clip your wings before you even take off, just to keep you down in their comfortable swamp with them. And even if they say nothing, their skeptical look, their slight smirk, will plant a virus of doubt in your mind. And now, for the terrifying part. By revealing your goals, you willingly handed them control. Now you are obligated to them. You gave them the right to ask you in a month, quote 7, and if you don't have results, you will feel shame. You will start avoiding these people. Your own goal will turn into a source of stress and humiliation. You handed them the weapon to use against yourself. In the game of power and influence, transparency is not honesty. Transparency is a vulnerability. As long as your plans are known, they can be destroyed. That is exactly why the people who truly run this world choose another path. The path of absolute, cold secrecy. Now let me introduce you to an entirely different level of the game. A level most people cannot even comprehend. This is the path of the Machiavellian. A man who sets massive goals and feels absolutely zero need to shout about them. Not because he has no one to talk to, and not because he fears criticism, but because he has trained his mind to separate his cheap ego from his grand strategy. While others beg for applause for their intentions, he works in complete, deafening silence. He asks himself one simple question before opening his mouth. Does them knowing my plans give me a tactical advantage? And 99% of the time, the answer is no. This is cold psychology. This is how the men who shape history think, while the rest of the world films behind-the-scenes footage of their lives. The Machiavellian understands the ultimate law of power. Information is leverage. Every word you give the world about your plans is a blueprint of your fortress that you willingly hand over to your enemies. Secrecy is not cowardice. Secrecy is the highest form of control. When your goals are buried deep beneath the surface, they are safe. No one can attack what they cannot see. No one can criticize what they do not suspect. No one can sabotage a process that only exists in your head and in your daily actions. You gain options that loudmouths lack. If you fail in silence, it's just a lesson. You make adjustments, change course, and try again. Your reputation stays intact. But if you fail after broadcasting your plans to the entire world, it is a public humiliation. You become a hostage to other people's expectations. The Machiavellian never allows the crowd to dictate his timeline. He operates on his own terms. And here is what makes this mindset absolutely terrifying to those around him. They cannot read him. They look at him and see an ordinary man. They think he is standing still. They assume he is predictable. They relax because they don't see him as a threat. And that is the greatest tactical advantage you can possibly get. The camouflage of normality. Let them think you are just like them. Let them think you spend your evenings on mindless entertainment. Unpredictability breeds fear and respect. When people don't know where you are aiming, they don't know how to defend against you. You strip them of their ability to prepare. But to master this weapon, you will need something 99% of people do not have. Ruthless discipline. Your ego will resist. It will scream. When you make your first strides, when you make your first hidden money, when your physique starts changing, your ego will beg you to post it online. It will demand, show them, prove them wrong. In that exact moment, you must grab your ego by the throat and choke that impulse out. You must learn to tolerate the discomfort of unrecognized greatness. Ask yourself, am I doing this to look like someone in their eyes, or to actually become that man? Protect your energy like it is solid gold, because it is. The fuel you didn't waste on empty conversations will go into real actions. True power requires no announcements. Powerful men do not release trailers for their lives. They simply deliver a result that is impossible to ignore. When your project is finished, when your empire is built, when you achieve what others only whisper about in the hallways, that is when they will all know. But it won't be an announcement anymore. It will be a statement of fact. And when your strike hits reality, it will be like a thunderbolt from a clear sky. They will look at you in shock, asking themselves, how did he do it? When did he have the time? Why didn't we know anything? Let them guess. Let them try to figure it out. Let them fear what they cannot comprehend. This is the art of secrecy. You don't just achieve a goal. You become an enigma. You made it to this point, but let's be honest. This isn't the end. This is your beginning. Everything I just told you is worthless if you close this video and go right back to running your mouth about your plans. Knowledge without execution is just cheap dopamine. And you didn't come here for that. You came here for power over your own life. So here is your final command. Kill the weak man inside you who feeds on other people's approval. Kill him with iron discipline. Kill him with total silence. From this moment on, you are a man who cannot be read. You build your empire in the shadows. You make your moves like a chess grandmaster, hidden, calculated, and absolutely devastating to everyone who doubted you. Machiavelli gave us these blueprints centuries ago. The games people play remain the same, only the arenas have changed. No one can walk this path for you. Your friends cannot gift you status. Your environment will not forge your character. Only you decide whether you remain a predictable slave to public attention or become the architect of your own destiny. The choice is yours. It always has been. Do one thing right now. Go down to the comments and type these 3 words. I move in silence. Not as an empty phrase, but as an oath. As a declaration that the old version of you dies today. Write it down and stand by your words. And if this monologue struck a nerve, if you felt your mindset shifting right now, hit the like button. That's your signal to me that this content is reaching the right people. Subscribe to the channel. We are building a closed community here for those who refuse to be weak, convenient, and predictable to the herd. Turn on notifications. Every video I release is a cold weapon for your arsenal. I move in silence. And now, go prove it.